here is some emergency department advice we would give to people if we weren't afraid to hurt their feelings.
Hi, it's Jonathan.
Hi, Jana.
It's time for Customer Case. Jana, how are things going?
Oh, it's not the best, to be honest. It's really busy at the moment. I don't know if you noticed on the way up here, there's ambulances
ramping.
waiting
Yes.
rooms full.
Busy times.
We're short-staffed,
Mm.
and everyone, including our patients, are pretty over it and frustrated, I think.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be great if we could, give our patients in the community a bit of an idea of what happens when...
Yeah, like what happens behind the scenes, what happens when you turn up to emergency,
Yeah.
and why things are the way they are, why your experience is like that.
Yeah.
And to help us out, we've got Katie who's come to join us to tell us a couple of things. So Katie,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here with
And-
you guys.
Katie, you're a bit of a TikTok sensation.
Yep.
You've got, Jonathan, did you know Katie's got almost 350,000 followers?
Oh my God, Katie. Unbelievable.
Katie, we were just talking about how busy it is and maybe how we could give our patients a bit of a glimpse as to, what goes on for us in the department when it's so busy. Could we do it with a TikTok trend?
Love it. Love that so much. Right, how about here is some emergency department advice we would give to people if we weren't afraid to hurt their feelings.
Absolutely.
I've seen that
I
trend,
love it.
yeah.
Okay, I've got one. Okay.
Okay.
So the ED, it's not a replacement for your GP. All right. We can do lots of stuff, but we can't do all the stuff a GP can do. It's quite a different experience.
So
Yeah.
true. Like our general practice colleagues are incredible and they know their patients so much better than we do. They know their past medical history and we just cannot replace people's GPs.
No,
Absolutely.
agree. And you can't replace that continuity, being able
No.
to see the same doctor. You come to emergency, you could be seeing a junior doctor, you could be seeing a nurse practitioner, you could be seeing a consultant, and the next time you come, it could be completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this might be controversial, but calling an ambulance or arriving in an ambulance doesn't necessarily mean you get seen quicker, nor does it mean you
Yeah.
get put in a bed. And I
Yes.
think my heart breaks when I see people show up and they find that they're actually not going to get into the department for a while and they have to wait in the waiting room. And I wish I could tell them, that's not how it works and we still have to...
So how does it work? Why
Yeah.
doesn't it work that way?
Well, because everybody's triaged, Jonathan. So we triage them according to severity, according to their pain. There's lots of factors that determine whether you get a bed in the department or whether you're able to sit in the waiting room.
Unfortunately, when you come to the emergency department, it's not a queue, it's not first come, first served, it's triage. And that system is in place to protect
Yeah.
patients so that we can get to the sickest patients the quickest.
One of the other things I was thinking of, if you've had a condition for a while, like a rash for 2 weeks, it's probably not an emergency anymore.
Yeah.
It's probably not something that we're any better at dealing with. I don't know, what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
definitely. Or
But-
if you've had maybe a symptom for 3 months and that symptom is unchanged, I totally
Yeah.
get that is so frustrating. But again, it's probably not an emergency and could probably be managed by someone more appropriate.
And people are obviously, they're frustrated and they're trying to get in to see someone, they're trying to get help, and that's why they're coming. But as an absolute emergency, it probably isn't. It probably
No,
needs to go to
yeah.
outpatients or a specialist or someone who can actually deal with that particular thing. All right, what else?
How about you, Katie?
One of the things I would say is that we all care so deeply about our patients. It's why we show up every day. Like being an emergency department specialist, this is not an easy job, but we all love it, don't we? But sometimes I certainly can feel rushed and I can feel stressed. And I guess I would want people to know that yes, if I do seem a little bit stressed or just if you feel I'm being blunt with you, it's not because I don't care. It's because we are really busy and I might have 5 other patients that are critically unwell and I want to get your treatment started really quickly and then get on to help the next person. So it's not because we don't care, we really, really do. But yeah, it's unfortunately just the way the system is set up.
I think the nature of emergency, just to echo what you said, Katie, is that we can't actually give the care that we want to give. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like you
I know.
see, you know,
Yeah.
a nice lady who's
Yeah.
just a bit lonely and needs a cup of tea and a chat, and I'd love to do that, but my phone keeps ringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have you
Yeah.
been in the middle of a,
Yeah.
you know, chit chat, small talk with a nice patient, and you just get interrupted a million times? And I think, you know, I wish people knew that it's not me being rude, but it's
Oh,
just us trying
Here's
to.
another one.
Definitely.
You might have to tell your story over and over again when you come to emergency, and that's not just because we're not listening, it's because we're getting interrupted, but you go through many different people who
Yeah.
will see you.
Yeah.
So you'll tell your story over and over again. You might wonder, why is no one listening to me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually have recently adopted that as one of my opening lines.
Yeah,
I do
okay,
actually,
yeah.
I thank the patient for
Yeah.
waiting, and then I will say, I really do apologise. I know you've probably told this story a few times, maybe to a paramedic, then maybe to a triage nurse, then maybe to your bedside nurse, and now me, how
Yeah.
annoying.
How annoying is
But I
that?
tried
Yeah.
to explain why that's so important.
Yeah. Well, I have one.
Yeah.
And you know, looking up symptoms online. I think
Wow.
I do it myself sometimes. Not you know, everybody does it,
Yeah.
but if you don't have a medical background and you're googling your symptoms,
No, it's not
it's
Yeah.
risky because you could be told you might have something really bad,
Mm.
and that's just going to make you more stressed,
Mm.
and the stress might worsen your symptoms.
Mm.
I 100% agree. I have absolutely Googled symptoms at 3 o'clock in the morning about my newborn baby.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
But I honestly, with hindsight and experience, I honestly feel that Googling your symptoms, it really doesn't make you more prepared. I feel like it does just make you more anxious
Mhm.
because the internet is just full of worst case
It's worst
scenarios,
case scenarios,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if you have Googled something and you are worried about it, I'll ask you, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
So tell me, because then I can reassure you.
You can get straight to
yeah,
the
we can
point.
get straight to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
there something you were particularly worried about? Let me address it.
Yeah.
I just think Googling just makes you anxious, and often, you know, you don't want to talk to a robot anyway. Don't you
No.
want to talk to a doctor who can probably just go through what's
Or nurse,
actually,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, talk to the paramedic, what's important, what's not so important, because
Yeah.
sometimes the internet gets the emphasis wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And finally,
Finally, I guess I just want people to know, and I don't want to be patronising, of course people know, but us doctors, nurses, all the staff in a hospital, we are human.
Mhm.
We often work long shifts. We can work 9, 10, 12-hour shifts, often with minimal breaks. Can't remember the last time I had, you know, certainly not more than one break on a shift, and you've always got this mental load of jobs that you need
Yeah,
to
and
get
the phone
back
keeps
to.
ringing.
So
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
bite to eat if you're lucky, and you're straight back out there. And we see a lot of tough things, don't we?
Yeah.
Every day working in an emergency department, we see trauma, and some of it is pretty confronting. It's emotional, and it can take its
Yeah.
toll
Mm.
on the staff. So again, if we seem tired, it's probably because
probably are.
we
Yeah.
are.
Mm.
But
Talk to
again, we
Mhm.
continue to show up because we care, and it's our job, it's our passion. And so we would never want to discourage patients from coming to the emergency
Mhm.
department. You'd put us out of a job.
Absolutely.
But just to, give you that insight
And the
is
context, I think, that even though things look really crappy out front, and you're waiting a long time to be seen,
yeah.
that we're doing our best, I think.
Yeah, I did recently do a video similar to this on my social media, and it was lovely to see the amount of people commenting to say, in a way, it is actually a privilege if you are having a bit of a wait in the emergency department, because sometimes you actually don't want to be that person that is rushed in, because that is concerning.
That person's having a bad day.
That person's
Yeah.
having a bad day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was great.
Yeah, that was
Thanks for
great.
coming, Kate. Thanks,
Brilliant.
Shana.
Thank you so much for
Interesting
having me.
stuff.
Will
Yeah,
you
no.
have me again?
Great advice.
I think
We-
we need to do more TikTok
we're
trends.
definitely getting
I
more
think
TikTok trends.
We're moving into a series.
I think
here.
so. So if you've got any TikTok
Yeah.
trends out there you want us to do,
Yeah,
just
send
drop us
them
a
in.
line.
Can
Okay.
I next
Yes.
time? Can I, Jonathan, get you like on the floor and pull you really
Oh my
quickly
god. We
with
need to
your
talk about the
feet?
dangerous TikTok trends.
Dangerous TikTok
Let's save that
trends
for next time.
coming up next.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you later, everyone. Bye.